Just a little extra. Don't go hog wild now. Said that spark plug. Hello, my YouTube friends. We're in a whole nother area again. As you can see, the guy up under the hood over there. That's my buddy Brandon. And well, because you guys know my whole neck situation, if you've been watching, I can't really be doing the work yet. So I asked this guy, hey, you want to help? So we're at his place. With the Cruze. You remember this car that we painted months back? I think we did something else that I can't remember. A timing belt, I think, on this thing. So she's been on the channel. But we got a little bit of an issue with her. And today's the day we're going to take care of her. Let's take a gander here. And you can see a couple things right off. Well, that's ugly. It's dirty, as can be. And this is more my main concern. Can you see how dark this is? This is your coolant.
Clear.
It should not be that dark, okay? Let me tell you why it's that dark. So you know on most cars, the oil coolers, they're air cooled. Well, this one is water cooled. Yeah. So your oil is cooled by water. And that thing failed. Really easy. Oh, I don't know if it'd be an easy job, but it's pretty easy. But it's a common failure on these things. People think it's head gaskets all the time, and it's not. It's just an oil cooler. So we're gonna get that done and take care of this valve cover that just looks like crap. Mainly because when you take those out and you take the coils off, the spark plug laters, they're full of oil, like to the tippy top. And the only way the oil can get in the sparkulator hole is through that valve cover gasket. Right now, he's loosening the bolts while the engine is warm because it makes it easier, okay? It's 20 degrees out and my fingers are freezing. So that's why we're doing it warm, because it'll cool down quickly after a warm snack. And then it won't be as hard. And then once it cools down, I'll be able to pop this cap and show you why it's so ugly in there. But it's warm and we don't want the volcano out here today. Okay, so this is a part I always forget. So while it's on my mind, first off, that's Marshall. Right there, you see him? He's actually the father of Phoebe. Right there. You see how they look similar? Okay, but that's not what I meant. What I meant is I always forget to tell you about the parts. So, the oil cooler is behind the exhaust manifold. So, if you're doing one of these, you probably ought to want to think about getting an exhaust manifold gasket. Because you're taking it off, why wouldn't you put a new one on? And do you really want to take it off again and put a gasket on there? Just do it while it's there. If you don't understand what I'm talking about oil cooler, let's take a gander down here. You see this? I know if you're doing your own oil changes, you would know that this is your oil filter. Okay, here's the back side. It even came with the bolts, which was pretty impressive. But look at this right here. I think this is the reason we got water into our oil, because this I'm pretty sure is a water jacket and this is an oil. And you see that little rubber that's like nothing there? Don't you think after 10 years of it getting hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, that's gonna split? I would. That's just my guess. I haven't taken her apart.
We're about to find out though.
We are about to find out, that is right. But this is our mess. And obviously the valve cover gasket isn't really necessary for this job. But it is, in our case, because we got the oils in the wrong places. So, but if you do have the same issue, which is very common, with the valve cover gaskets. I got me a Felpro because I like the Felpro gaskets, and it's rubbery. Personal opinion. Warm snack was taken very nicely.
And mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made while we were warm snacking. Sponsored by Brandon today. Yeah. So you know. Alright. And then we came back out and we realized we pulled the dipstick out before we went in. Yeah, it's a little whoopsie. We didn't put anything under to catch the oil, so it just right all over his driveway. I don't know what we were thinking completely this morning. I think it was the cold. You know, we were just like, let's go inside and warm up. But anyways, we put some cardboard down. Well, I say we, but he put some cardboard down and
back too.
Yeah, solved that real fast. Well, the cardboard went down. We put the safety jack stands because we're to the point of taking the exhaust manifold off. Can you see it in there? That thing looks like a rib cage. Interesting exhaust manifold, by the way. Very interesting. We'll come down yonder here though. We gotta take this apart. I can't even see it where I'm at, but I don't know if you guys can. Alright, that's all the view you're gonna get, because getting down on the ground and looking, that's not good for me. Well, I mean my neck. It's, you know, I don't need to be in them weird angles for long. Here's from the other side. This is the driver's side over here.
I'm about to swap out tools, man. Got a better
idea?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's always good. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. That was good for breaking them free. They're moving now.
So, on the driver's side here, you see that's your oil filter. Now you see how you can't get to it because of this thing? That's why it's gotta come off. Alright? It's a necessity. It has to come off. There ain't no way you're doing it. So don't try to be trickery. Alright? Here we are, come to that moment of taking this puppy apart. We're losing all our coolant. Except we're doing our best to catch it with minor spillage, minor.
So when you're doing this, you gotta pry it off and then slide it
Toward the driver's side.
toward the driver's side, yeah.
But gently. Don't just go yanking on
Yep,
it,
because
right?
you'll break that pipe off. And that pipe just slides right in.
And we'll show you, we'll get a better angle here in a minute. But here's our old setup.
So the gasket that failed is in here.
In here. That one's stuck to the motor.
Yep. So that obviously wasn't good.
Here's the pipe we're talking about. This puppy slides in the end of this, which is right there, the bottom one. You see it? See the one that goes all the way through? No, we're talking about the dark hole. This one, right here. Now we should put new O-rings on these and that. So 1, 2, 3, the 3 O-rings and the 2 gaskets that I forgot for the tubes. Here we are. Not any further than we were. A little bit. We noticed though, if you could see down here, you just see how oil soaked this engine is. And it's because of the oil pressure sensor right there. So Brandon was telling me, you know, because the oil goes in the end there. He was telling me that the plastic clip side, it ends up getting old and splits, and then the oil starts injecting right into your wiring harness. So that's why the engine's so oily. It's because it's spitting it out. So we're gonna repair that while we're in there. But we don't have that. So we're gonna go to the parts store, get that. We're gonna try and get these O-rings for the other pieces. So we'll be right back. So we're back already. It only took like 5 minutes. And let me tell you, that is a shocker, because finding rubber O-rings anywhere is a pain, okay? So, yeah, finding parts period is a pain, okay? So what I'm telling you is we lucked out. We got all 6 rubber O-rings. They're already pressed in because the Napa guy was cool.
Yeah, thank you,
Helped
Napa
us out.
Auto Parts.
Heck yeah. And then another thing, we thought we were gonna be waiting on the old oil pressure sensor thingamajig. Look at this. Same one. They had it in stock. Are you kidding me? Do I got good luck today, or is it this guy? One of us has got the luck today.
Got some good luck today.
So I'm gonna quit rambling. We're gonna put as many parts on this puppy as we can before noon, lunchtime, because I gotta get home and watch little dude's little school concert thing, you know, where they do all the singing and stuff. And I don't want to miss that because this is first one in kindergarten, so I gotta be there to support my little buddy. And well, I'm rambling again, god dang it. Air action, cleaning her up, exposing some bolts and stuff, making a mess. Everybody's favorite sound over there. The brake clean, brake clean, brake clean. Alrighty, now it's time to put her back together. We're gonna slap our little pipes in the end of this oil cooler. We did get our gasket mating surfaces all cleaned up. We put a little grease on the metal ends, even this one. Well, this one didn't get it yet, but we're putting them around here just so they glide in there nicely to begin, and we don't score them up and scrape, you know. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. So on this one, it's not, we didn't get quite as big, okay? So we're gonna put a little RTV in there to fill the gap. You know, not much, just a little bit, just to be safe, you know? We don't wanna be doing this again.
It's like a barrier.
See, just the Paquito, see the amount that's going on there? Just a little extra, don't go hog wild now. This isn't your China walls on a Chevy 350, okay? That's what I'm telling you. It's just a little bit. We're fitting in here pretty nicely, you know?
Yeah, I want to push this pipe in.
Yeah, as he's explaining, you gotta look at this pipe down there.
Yeah, we gotta push that in before.
You gotta give her a little
All your
extra
bolts.
shove. Just a tiny little extra shove, because you don't want to push too hard and like nick the block, and then your sealing surface sucks, you know, because you never know, accidents happen. Just be gentle. Give her a little snuggeroony. So down here, you see this little pipe right there that's kind of blending? It is blending. That's the pipe I'm talking about, that you need to give a little shove that way toward the water pump and, you know, the front of the engine technically. And then it also gets locked down by this little bolt here, you know. She's got room to slide in there. And you got those 2 bolts and those 2 bolts, and then the 5 bolts on there. She's installed, is basically what I'm saying, over dramatically. Now we're gonna move on, because I don't even know what time it is, and I think it's about time that we need to get going to little dude's thing.
Oh, so sorry, Macy.
How's my big eye? You did good. I seen you. Did you see us?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't think you did.
no. We were at the way top. Yeah.
The Christmas singing, or you know, we're back. We're done with that. We're back over here. So, we forgot the oil pressure sensor before the oil cooler. It would have just, you know, we could have used the wrench. But instead, we're going to use these little sockets because it's so tight in there. You know, you need a deep one, obviously. And they put it so close to the oil cooler that you need like a really thin wall. And these work perfect. But beyond that, like, we put the wire back in the plug for the sensor. And we put the exhaust back together. And we're almost like wrapped up and done. Minus the valve cover gasket. And that's like right on the top, so it should be like 5 minutes. Exhaust manifold gasket. Here's the code. This is the 2012 flavor. Well, now that the air compressor finally decided to let me talk instead of it, we're a little further than I anticipated to show you guys. But look, the exhaust manifold / catalytic converter dealie, it's going back in. We got these nuts going on. We do need to find one. We did mishappenly misplace one somewhere. But we're gonna find it.
We'll find.
Eventually. Put her on. And then we got like 3 more nuts on the bottom side. And then I think 2 bolts for the heat shield. And an oxygen sensor clip. And then we're like pretty much done. Okay? Yeah, we're pretty much like done. Minus the valve cover that we'll get to in a minute. We got Brandon here working on the dip stick and the heat shield at the same time because one of the bolts hold in together. You know, we're down to the last few bolts here.
Two left.
Yeah, see them? These little guys, and they go way down here on the heat shield somewhere.
Putting the valve cover on, and
yep,
that'll be it.
So now that we're so close, let's tackle this scary mission that's not that scary. Got these whole outer ring bolts here. Simply now we take this coil pack out. And I'm pretty sure this thing will be ready to just come out at that point.
Ready?
Said that spark plug. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a lot.
Get her broke free. Yeah, look at the one. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Definitely need to decrease her now.
After a little bit of a struggle, we got her off. But it looks pretty decent, you know, minus the oil seepage looking stuff. And it kind of looks like there's a little wear on these cam lobes, but I don't think anything enough to worry about, in my opinion. But I ain't no mechanic. So we'll get this all cleaned up, get ready for the new gasket. We're gonna go clean up the valve cover itself so it don't look all ugly, and maybe we get a good seal with that new gasket, and we'll be just about done. Here's our valve cover, fresh out of the certified parts cleaner. Looks pretty good. It's not brand new though. While I was cleaning that in the parts cleaner, this guy was out here doing the more like nitty-gritty stuff, you know, the gasket surface cleaning.
We're almost there. It's pretty clean now.
Which is worse to you? Cleaning off gasket surfaces or cleaning off your parts? But we are moments away from throwing a new gasket in, putting this cover back on, putting some oil back in her, firing her up. It's a pretty simple task for the day. Okay, well now, if you don't know what you're doing, it might take two. But since I've got the mechanic here that knows what he's doing, he's done this once or twice maybe, then that's why we're doing all this in one day today. Because of this guy, not me. My mouth has been doing this while my hands have been doing nothing.
These ones are easy because it's
One piece,
one piece and it's very
rubbery.
clear where it goes.
Yeah.
Got these squares on this side, not that side.
One directional.
One directional.
We don't do that band here, if you know what I'm saying. We're talking about the gasket. That has one direction.
Don't have to worry about if it's upside down
Oh, yeah,
or
look,
backwards.
Just feel the rubberiness compared to the one we took out. Holy
Yeah, this one
cow.
actually have some sealing to it.
Yeah.
All right, let's slap her down.
This crew's gonna be happy. And it's gonna take a cruise when it's done. Oh, hold on, go up again. Oh, go back down. All right, there you
All right,
go. It looks cleaner.
looks way clean.
Nah, you know, just and we're done. Simple.
They're pulling.
I'm just kidding. We gotta tighten some bolts. We gotta, you know, tighten them. Look, now would you look at this? Do you see everything wrapped together? Somewhat clean looking, somewhat, just a little bit. So the valve cover, I did miss it on camera. As we were tightening, we heard a little crack, and we're like, oh man, we just broke it. But further upon better investigation, that's what I'm trying to say, it doesn't look like it went all the way through, so we're just gonna
Ship it.
you know, right under the radar and hope that it doesn't leak. But if it leaks, it's an easy task right on the top. I'll just get a new valve cover and do her again. But for today, it worked. It's together. So since we're to this point of, you know, where we're at, we're gonna drop the oil, drain the rest of it. So, and it's getting cold. Instead of flushing this out, I think we're just gonna fill her up with fluid.
Oh, and flush it when it warms up.
Yes, we'll flush her another day.
That's not a bad idea.
Cause my fingers are already getting cold. You can see behind me that the daylight, it's disappearing fast. So, I think our best bet is just to move on. We'll flush her another day. It's a simple task. But for now, I'm just gonna watch this gurglate. There she is. Happy as can be. You can see the water pump moving water down there. We're on a good note. We just gotta wait a little bit so the thermostat will open and really get the air bubble out of there. And then we'll be ready to go on a test cruise with the Cruze. Here we have it. You know, it was an easy task. Well, it was easy for me because I didn't have to do much. But I gotta give a big shout out, big thanks to Brandon for helping me out, because, you know, friends are good. You know, what are friends for than to help you out? So I appreciate his help. If you like this, if you learned anything, give me a thumbs up on that like button. You know what I'm saying? Also, subscribe to the channel because I'm about to start building this little Honda and you're gonna wanna see that. So don't forget to stay motivated because we're here for a good time, not a long time. Thank you guys for watching.